Welcome to the Vinyl Word Podcast. This is Steve Beach and my friend Brian Mayer.
Hello.
So this podcast is about taking old spoken word records, I guess, for lack of a better word, things that are kind of strange in themselves, and we just kind of comment on them and kind of make fun of those and have a good time with it.
Absolutely. We decided what could be more obscure than ordinary records, but records that don't have any music on them at all. And
Right.
That's where we decided to spend our time.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You want to talk about our first record, Brian?
I would love to. The first record that we are going to do is a lovely piece called More Miss Miggsy, spelled Miggsy. The album we are doing is The Rhyming Storyteller. And Miss Miggsy was apparently a woman who did TV, she did radio, and she also wrote books for children. And this album that we are going to listen to has two of her books on here that she reads with musical and sound effects. And it also includes some other lovely Bible lessons along the way. And I do want to give a little warning to people. If you don't know what a Hammond organ is at this moment, I promise you that you will know what a Hammond organ is at the end of this,
Yes,
because there is a lot. You're going to think you're either at a funeral or a baseball game, because those are the two places left where Hammonds exist.
Right.
Are we ready to put it on?
Yep, we are ready.
All right, let's listen.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in this thing called life.
God said to Noah, "Make an ark out of wood, line it with tar, as shipbuilders should.
God
3
always
stories,
rhymes.
1 window, 1 door you must make, and 2 of each animal. Then shall you take into
Is she talking
the
like Yoda?
ark with your
Yes.
family of 8, your wife, and 3 sons, each one with his mate." Said Noah, "An ark? But where will it float?
That's all, folks.
And why should I build such an oversized boat? It never has rained since the days of my birth. Not 1 drop of water has fallen on earth." God said, "When I look at this earth I have made and see nothing but evil and sin on parade, I am sorry I ever put man.
Fire, brimstone. Ah, kill them all.
Even my slightest
My favorite
command.
part, genocide, is track 1.
Thus over the earth a great flood will I send, the heavens shall open and waters descend, to punish all those who my laws have ignored."
My heart hurts, it made me cry, so every living thing must die.
So Noah got busy. The trees.
But then he built a boat.
Timber!
The lumber he gathered in piles on the ground, all sizes, all lengths. And
Where
a
else is the lumber gonna go, Miss
all
Miggsy?
measured to fit God's specific direction.
I'm glad she used direction there.
The sound,
Yes.
all the hammer. The noise was terrific, and ear-splitting clamor. Oh, Noah's gone crazy.
He's slashing prices on all wood. Come to Noah's lumber yard today.
They gathered around him. They laughed and they jeered. They taunted and scolded. They snickered and sneered. But Noah kept working. He heard not a word. He knew when he started they'd think it absurd to build a huge ark right upon the dry land. He never expected that they'd understand.
Or his HOA.
Quit working. Look up in the sky. The sun is still shining. Please tell us why you worked for 120
Rhyming in the middle.
long years. You can't float a boat, no, on a bucket of tears.
She did say bucket, right?
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, Noah was sad as he bowed his gray head. Then he put down his tools.
And wish them
As
all
a
dead.
He said, "Why don't you worship our God anymore? You curse and you gamble. You're always at war. You do not believe what God says he will do, or else you'd be helping. Yes, each one of you. For over this earth a great flood will he send. The heavens shall open and the waters descend, and that is the reason I'm building this boat, for those will be saved who inside it will float. A chipmunk stood watching.
Alvin!
A skunk. An elephant stuffing some food in his trunk.
Where is he?
Called the sparrow. Are you going in? Not me, he said, hiding a silly old grin. I need some more nuts for my winter supply. Besides,
So don't touch my nuts.
Going to die?
Get your hands off my nuts!
And I'm feeling a little unsteady,
Said Eeyore.
Yeah.
Voice of Elephant Eddie.
Eloquent
I'm off
Eddie.
to the hills,
The elephant,
the
right.
highest round. I always feel safe with my feet on the ground.
How else will you stand?
Yeah, good thing you're an elephant.
The sparrow was puzzled. Well, what do you know? It sure doesn't look as if they want to go. Wouldn't it be awful if Noah was right? Who'll stick around here with me just for tonight?
Now, hold on here a second.
Yeah.
So, when did the animals get accents?
You know, that's a great question.
Because the sparrow sounds like it's from Alabama. Or
I know.
somewhere in the South.
Well, yeah, later on, we're going to meet the guy from, who's a Guido, I think he's, what is he? I think he's a badger.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I will, said the skunk who was smelling a daisy, if I just didn't feel so uncommonly lazy.
There's the Southern Belle.
But climbing that gangplank's really a chore. And my, did you notice? There's only one door.
Be glad we don't play side 2. It's full of just worse impressions.
Not one volunteered. The sun was still shining. No rain clouds appeared. Noah spoke gently. It's time now to leave. This flood God has promised is not make-believe. He stood at the door as the animals came, 2 at a time, some wild and some tame. The lions and tigers, the
And
panda
bears.
bears,
Oh my.
the chattering monkeys,
Ooh.
2 cows with 1 moo. On top of the gangplank, right by the door, stood
They had
his
beef
wife,
on the ark.
Mrs.
Obviously.
Noah, who was sweeping the floor. First with a broom, and then grabbing a rake, chasing some mice and a big rattlesnake.
He made his wife walk the
Noah
plank.
just chuckled.
Yes, he did.
My dear, this is priceless, but we cannot leave here snakeless or miceless. She set down her broom, and then she picked up some flour, some oil, and some leaven that she'd kept for this hour. And then she called, Shem, Japheth, go fetch
His
Brother
name's
Ham,
Shem?
and please don't
Chin?
forget that new little lamb.
Oh, it's hard to tell.
So up the big gangplank and into the ark, Noah and family prepared to embark.
Bark.
And the Lord God himself did shut the big door.
I'm glad she didn't say shut the front door.
Oh no,
Glad they hadn't
you're
invented
wrong.
WD-40 yet.
Not yet did it pour.
Clearly.
7 long days they were shut in that boat. Not one drop of water to get them afloat. But all of a sudden, from out of the blue, came a little black cloud that expanded and grew. It thundered and blustered all over
and
the
it grew.
sky, as
3
flashes of
sizes.
lightning went sizzling by. It rained and it poured. 40 nights, 40 days. But inside the ark, they were singing.
They were going crazy.
Higher and higher, the floodwaters rose 20 feet over the biggest plateaus, till no one was left, not a thing, anywhere, just the ark, calmly rocking, not a worry or care. For 5 months they floated, then God caused a wind to blow o'er the earth he had just disciplined. For 5 months,
She's stretching there
the
for
waters
rhymes, I
were
think.
slowly subsiding while
Death
Noah
everywhere, and she's still
Noah
rhyming.
The ark was still riding. But all of a sudden, the big boat hit land on top of Mount Ararat.
It's Gilligan's
just as
Island.
God planned. He opened the window, and he let out a raven that flew back and forth in
And then he
search
lasted
of a haven till
nevermore.
all of the waters had dried off the land.
Like that one.
So then Noah took a small dove in his hand, and he sent her to find how the water had drained.
I couldn't find anything. Good luck with that.
Right.
The waters remained. 7 days later, this trip was repeated, and this time her mission was fully completed.
Completed.
A fresh
Pre-treated.
olive leaf in her beak she had tucked, and at twilight returned to show what she had plucked.
Oh, okay.
7 more days.
That was close.
Again, Noah waited, and this time the dove never once hesitated. He took off forever, returning no
To
more.
never come back.
Yeah,
So then
that's what
Noah
forever
knew
means.
they could all go ashore.
Are we really calling the side of a mountain shore?
I guess
Noah
so.
went out with his sons and his wife.
It's not like they went to
begin
the
on
beach.
Earth a completely new life. The minute he landed, not once did he falter, but he quickly got busy and he built a big altar to offer a sacrifice unto the one who had kept them
A sacrifice.
secure
That's what you do to move a guy to second base.
Yeah.
God was well pleased and said, Noah, take note. Never again will you need such a boat. For
Unless you're
lo,
building the Ark
I
Encounter in
give
Williamstown,
you my
Kentucky.
own guarantee.
Yes.
Noah looked up, and what did he see? Purple and yellow and crimson and blue, all of the colors.
Can you paint with all the colors of the
There was
wind?
a rainbow, God's promise to man, that never again would he flood the whole land. You know, God
Thank
is
God.
still faithful. God is still true. Whatever he says, he always will do.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a great story for little kids.
Yeah, that's
So
track
here-
1. Track 1 is everyone dying, except the people on a boat that took 120 years to build.
Yes.
Track 2.
You know something? You can say the alphabet.
What is an alphabet?
An alphabet is
An alphabet actually is a set of abstract symbols that have phonemes attached to them, and they're the basis of language. But let's hear what Miss Miggsy has to say about the alphabet.
just a group of 26 letters. They are all the letters that we use in the words that we speak and the words that we read in books. They are arranged kind of like soldiers in good order, just like a parade. They
No,
never get out of line.
not at all.
Push, shove. And when you go to find one, you always know exactly where it is.
Also
But
not
I
true.
don't think I can say all those letters together.
I'll tell you what. All around the edge of the back of this record jacket, you will see all the letters in our alphabet. Can you find them? Now you put your finger on the big A and you shout it out, and
Okay, when she says put your finger on the big A, she's right. On the back of the record sleeve, there really is the alphabet around there.
The A is not short for something else.
No,
Thankfully.
thankfully.
I will give you a word that starts with the same letter and kind of reminds us of the story of Noah and the ark. And it could be that when we finish, we will discover that we all know how to
Don't know
say
what the alphabet is.
Yeah,
A is for ark,
absinthe.
the boat Noah made.
B,
Is for blessing, because he obeyed.
C,
Is for camel, the horse with a hump.
No!
She doesn't get
Is
out much,
for
does she?
donkey,
No.
so squatty and plump.
E,
Is for elephant. Noah took 2.
F,
Is for flood that God said was soon due.
G,
Is for
G.
God. His hand shut the door.
H,
Is for heavens that started to pour.
I,
Is for in the big ark where they stayed.
J,
Is for joy that they had when they prayed.
K,
Is for kittens. Did Noah take 6?
No, but they lost their
Is
mittens.
for
Yeah.
lions, too old to do tricks.
M,
Is for mountain.
Oh, very
the ark
specific.
rested
Old
there.
lions.
N,
Is for Noah, a man of much prayer.
O,
Is for open the door. Let them out.
Let us out! It stinks in here!
God,
Yeah.
who started to shout.
Q,
Is for question.
Which you
Would
should
it
never
flood
ask.
Like before?
R,
Is for rainbow, which meant nevermore.
S,
Is for sacrifice made when they landed.
T.
is for thanks that they did as commanded.
U.
Is for up, they got up from their knees.
V.
Is for vegetables like carrots and peas.
W.
Is for work when they
Not for
planted their
walrus?
gardens.
No.
X.
Marks the spot that they all worked so hard in.
Y.
Is for you. Noah's story
You
is
were in the
true.
ark, remember?
Z.
Yeah.
Is for zoo. In the ark, 2 by 2.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y,
Even that
Z.
ending is weird.
Yeah. Did the cadence of the alphabet song change between then
Something.
and now?
Wasn't it supposed to be WX, not W?
X, Y, Z. Yeah.
Obviously, she makes up her own rules for cadence, for rhyming, when you rhyme, because you're supposed to rhyme in the middle of a sentence, not at the end, right?
And I love your segue there, Steve, because we're about to embark on a journey of really bold rhyme schemes.
Yes. We're all gonna die. Welcome to my lair.
This is the old
A
1920s
certain
criminal
man
music.
once had to go from Jerusalem to Jericho.
It's a long way to wait for
The
the
road
bathroom.
was rough. The travelers few. 'Twas narrow and steep and lonely too. There were great big rocks on either side.
It's the definition of a canyon.
To hide. But this man was gay as he started out.
And then he turned
without
straight.
fear,
Yep. For
without
the
a
purpose
doubt.
of this story.
Very softly he started to croon a happy little homemade tune.
This is the way I go to Jericho.
This is supposed to be a happy little tune?
This is his happy.
This is the way I go.
We should mention he was receiving court-ordered therapy.
In the morning.
For he didn't worry, he didn't care, and he kicked a stone high in the air.
Because he was so
He
mad.
whistled and sang along the way. It was like a special holiday.
This is the way I go.
This guy's
to
so sad.
Jericho,
I know.
He needs some Xanax.
to Jericho.
He needs
This is
anything.
the way I go to Jericho in the morning.
And then I kicked
All of a sudden, he heard a clatter. He whirled about. What
Is she
was
robbing
the
from the
matter?
Christmas story now?
Yes.
Quick as
The
a
rose such a
flash,
clatter?
the robber did bound from
100%.
behind the rocks. He was thrown to the ground. They pounded and they kicked him. They flattened his nose. They
Flattened
robbed
his
his money and
nose?
took
Flattened
his
his
clothes, and he lay on the ground, too hurt to cry, battered and bleeding, ready to
It's a shame he
die.
couldn't sing his happy song.
And far away he heard
This
a
is the way my face got stomped.
deep thump. Closer and closer, steady and
Is the ground made out of wood planks, or is it just me?
No, that's exactly the way that the desert sounds.
Right.
Man. But he turned his head and swiftly ran past the suffering man who lay there
Up the
on
stairs he
road,
went.
Right.
filled with
Down the wooden hallway.
and
Right
then
next to the valley.
once more he heard a sound of muffled footsteps on the ground.
Not muffled.
Closer and closer, steady and slow.
Sounds pretty clear footsteps to
Surely
me.
they
Yeah.
wouldn't leave him so. He weakly called, "Please help me, sir. I'm just another traveler. They've beaten, they've robbed me, and they took my pay." But he stopped, for the Levite had gone away.
No more jeans from the
No
Levi's.
one left
Nope.
who seemed to care that this poor man lay groaning there. As he laid his head on the hard, cold ground,
This is the way I slowly die. Slowly die.
approaching the place where he lay, and he covered his eyes and he began to pray. A Samaritan came by foot, although behind him
And he
his
had a
donkey
flat tire
followed
too, I
him.
think.
Yeah.
The Samaritan stopped, and he heard with pity the traveler's tale, and I must admit he was moved with love. His heart was sad that both the priest and the Levite had heard his cry.
She's rhyming in the middle of there.
Yeah.
Levite
leaving
had.
this man to bleed and die. The Samaritan took some oil and wine and bound his cuts
And drank it
with
down
cloth
hard.
and twine, and then he carried him off upon his beast.
Made himself
Beast?
To a
a
nearby
lovely
field.
vinaigrette.
Yes.
Beast. And before the Samaritan left next day, he heard the good Samaritan say, "Now, here's some money I gladly share to give this man the best
Johnny
of care.
Cash was the
When
Samaritan.
I return, I will restore
Obviously.
all that you spend if you need more." The Samaritan left to resume his labor, and Jesus called him a very good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Do you like to rock in a rocking chair? Back and forth, back
Yeah,
and
dude.
forth.
Like to rock and
Kind of
roll.
like swinging on a swing with your feet on the ground. Do you know something?
That's not
When
how
I rock,
swinging
I like
works,
to say
Steve.
No.
words that match each other, like twins. Adults call that rhyming.
No, we
You want
don't.
to try it? You climb in a chair and we'll all rock together. And if you don't have a rocker, why, you just pretend rock on the floor.
And suck on your thumb in the corner.
Because that's what sane people do.
1, 2, and then we'll find words to match the sound of ooh. Not little words like boo or stew.
Or do or
you.
poo.
We want to think of rocking chair words.
Rocking chair words, people.
Boo, who, or cook, coo, or too.
I am through.
Let's try. Ready? 1, 2.
Freddy's coming for you.
You, kangaroo.
Wait, I've got a great idea.
Did you say
We can do
kangaroo?
3 things at
That's
once.
a
How
sin.
about that?
3 things at
Let's
once. I can't
count
multitask.
From 1 to 10, just that way, and we'll make rhymes, and then we'll climb the musical ladder with our voices, just 1 octave high, 8 steps. We'll turn around on top, and we'll come back down again. Are you ready?
No.
1, 2, bamboo. You, kangaroo. 3, 4, back.
Makes me think of that Nightmare on Elm Street rhyme.
No, this is scarier.
5, 6, red bricks. Big sticks.
Bean sticks?
Bean sticks.
I thought they're called stalks.
This is terrifying.
Rotate, graduate.
Rotate, regurgitate.
Amen. Play, back, concentrate. We can count from 1 to 10. Now let's do it again.
Nope.
No,
Wait, no.
please don't.
Thank you. And there is good in the world. Oh, boy. Okay. Miss Miggsy, I think we can all agree that she had good intentions,
Yes.
but wow.
So, hope you enjoyed our first podcast of Final Word, and hopefully, if you're brave enough, you'll return next time.
Yeah. Where maybe we'll have something that's interesting. Or and not disconcertingly strange.
If you like what you heard, go ahead and subscribe, as there will be more. Also, if you'd like to reach us with any comments or snide remarks, you may do that at vinylword22@gmail.com. That's vinyl, like the record, followed by the number 22 at gmail.com.